Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
A year ago, I wrote a book titled The Final Solution, and I was trying to say to the rest of the world that there are challenges ahead. Now, a prophecy did come, and that prophecy is coming to pass. But I'm telling you, the final solution has been found many years ago in the Bible, because the Bible simply says righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to the people. So I want you to know that we can get solutions to problems in Ukraine, in Russia, in Nigeria, indeed all parts of the world. We need that solution, and the solution is straightforward. Please get a copy of my book. It's the Final Solution by Bishop Schengen Johnson, and you can find it in Kindle, in Amazon. Just type Bishop Schengen Johnson, The Final Solution. It will come. It's very, very small book you can read within 2 hours, but it contains the final solution. Do get a copy. Not getting it is doing disservice to humanity. Don't forget the final solution.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Hello. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Dr. Ambassador Raji.
Evangelist.
Raji. It's good to see you. Welcome to beautiful morning Friday, the 12th of September. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I woke up alive and cheerful.
Good. So, yes, viewers, you are tuning again to our Friday edition of the SSM News Updates. What we say here is that we give update from the African in diaspora and back home perspective. So there are many news networks, but we do it from a different angle. Raji is here with me, and it's good to see Raji. Raji, what's happening again? They say Nipeng is about to go on strike. Is that correct? You are hearing this morning.
Well, I'm not on top of that news, but as at last night, I thought, as at Wednesday, I thought they had come to an MOU and they were going to move on with the memorandum of understanding. I don't know. So whatever the case, I don't think that the Nupeng have a solid foot to stand on, because
the news this morning.
Yes.
Okay. The news this morning is that they're trying to resume the strike. They accuse Dangote of the Dangote refinery of breaching the agreement they had last time. So they said they didn't keep up to their side of the agreement, and Dangote management also denied that they had any breach of agreement. So they say it's just cheap blackmail. That's what the Dangote people are saying. Cheap blackmail. So let's see by the end of the day, maybe we'll have a concrete outcome of what's happening there.
Yeah, things will be clearer then.
Yes, it'll be clear then.
Yes.
Okay, you're welcome. So, viewers, you are tuned into Friday edition of the SSM News Network. Let's talk about Nepal. Nepal. Nepal and what is going on there. This morning, we heard that a woman has been, an ex-justice, have been tipped to lead the transition. Do you have that news? We heard the woman you see on the screen there. She's an ex-chief justice. The Gen Z protesters are the ones choosing her as an interim leader, following the very violent demonstration that left close to 40 people dead and forced the prime minister to resign. So it's up to her to accept the role and to form the cabinet. Is that not so?
Yes, I think so. And if she has been chosen by the Gen Z group, then I think they have enough confidence in her, and I hope that she will not disappoint them with the confidence. But I have something to say, just like with coups. Because what happened is essentially a coup, and then I hope that our politicians will learn from all these things and not force the hands of the people into violent overthrow of their
That's very true. Many African countries and many other countries should learn from this. People can people can get to their wit end, and when they get to their wit end, they react because they can't take it any longer. Yes. So anyway, the protest has been very violent. We saw the former finance minister take through the streets, kicked, trashed. We saw a former prime minister's wife burnt. See all of these, Raji. The studio has some of those videos too. We saw very violent reaction. The youths were not joking. They kicked around another minister and had him running through the streets of Kathmandu. We also saw the youth raising the hands of soldiers. You know, they said the soldiers gave them the pass. The soldiers stopped the police from stopping them. So soldiers of Nepal are being praised for helping the Gen Z youth protesters.
Well,
Did you hear this?
I don't think it's just helping them. I think they were obeying the conditions for which they served. They joined the army to protect the nation, and to be loyal to the constitution and to protect the nation. And their loyalty is not to the government but to the nation. And I think they played a very good role in that.
That's a very intelligent point of view. Because Nigeria, the soldiers will defend the government.
Unfortunately,
so it is to defend the people and not the politicians. Anyway, the reaction was so violent. We saw on Wednesday, we saw crowds set fire to the parliament building in Kathmandu. We saw black smoke billowing up to the sky all over the whole city. And inmates, about 900 inmates, like we heard, managed to escape from 2 prisons in the western district of Nepal. The demonstration was really strong, really strong. We also saw youths going into an armory, a place, a stock house, a warehouse for arms, and they were all taking guns. Everybody was taking one gun to himself. Really, really violent. But now, Raji, this means some miscreants could also be having arms with them, because the arms were opened. The whole place was, everybody was taking one, two, you know. So this is dangerous also moving forward. As time goes on, many people will be having guns, and I mean, guns in the wrong hand is serious.
Mm. You see,
What do you
sometimes I
think?
wonder. Sometimes I wonder what are the wrong hands in which arms are given.
Okay.
Because if a people have to be pushed to the wall and they have to defend themselves, one's responsibility is primarily first to himself, to his own survival. And sometimes government takes the people for granted, and then they do whatever they can to do until the people revolt. It is better for the government not to push the people to the wall until they revolt. And therefore, when a situation like this happens, a lot of things, society could be shredded, and so many things could happen that would not normally have happened if there had been a normal situation. But it is not a normal situation, and therefore arms can get into any and everybody's hands. And hoping that after the whole thing, there will be sanity enough in the country so that people will not resort to robbery and to violence to survive. I wish the interim prime minister success. It is a success for the nation and for the people, because in everything, whatever we said about the country, it's all about the people of the country, regardless of the GDP or whatever it's being done. If the people are not happy, there's nothing you can do about the GDP, about whatever it is that you are saying that will move to the people, to move the people. Yes. And the government
Raji, let's take this further. Let's talk about this situation that's happened in Nepal with what's happening in Nigeria. Let's take Nigeria as a case study too. Do you think, a lot of times we've seen organization, people, groups, ministry, and all of these rise up to want to protest, but it doesn't yield anything. They just make themselves go hungry for a day or two, and we don't see much results from those things they do. We're not saying people should create chaos and riot and scatter everywhere, but don't you think a little of protest in the right way, you could protest the right way, could also change some of the mindset of the government towards the people in Nigeria? What do you say? A protest that is long lasting, that stretches to.
Unfortunately, we still have a country. It is just a mere geographic expression. We don't have a nation yet. And the soldiers, the military, and the politicians have deliberately balkanized the people against each other, so that when there's an uprising in Lagos, for instance, you could be sure that people from the north will not support that uprising. And then, yes, and then because there's no unity across the nation of the peoples. Everybody, yes, until we get Nepal, for instance, is a nation, and there's a moral code that under which they all operate, and therefore they could come together and do whatever they have to do. Then the population too. Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people.
Nepal is like 40 million.
For 40 million, it is controllable. You could do that. You could do something like that. Something like that could happen in Ghana. It happened in Ghana during Rawlings' time, where there's national unity, because they are a nation with a moral code. Nigeria is just a geographic expression. As I sit down here, it is difficult for me to claim that I'm a Nigerian without any doubt. But I hold a Nigerian passport. As it is now, because of the state of the country, my primary loyalty is to my Yoruba nation. My Yoruba-ness cannot be withdrawn. Yes.
Nice. Thank you very much, Raji. Viewers, hope you're with us. Raji and I are here on this Friday, Global International Updates. So, Raji, let's come to, you just called Ghana, and I know that's that precious country of yours. There's something interesting happening from there too. Yesterday,
there's something interesting happening from
deportees were taken from United States to Ghana, 14 of them, and we heard the president of Ghana talking about the whole thing. Let's see the clip, then we'll come to the discussion.
We were approached by the U.S. to accept third-party nationals who were being removed from the U.S. And we agreed with them that West African nationals, were acceptable, because all our fellow West Africans don't need a visa to come to our country. So if they decided to travel from US to Accra, they don't need a visa anyway. So if you're bringing our colleague West Africans back, I mean, that's okay. And so I think that agreement has been activated, and a first batch of 14 nationals came. West Africa has the protocol of free movement, and so any West African is free to come to Ghana and be able to stay for 90 days. And so if they decide to bring them, I mean, we don't have a problem accepting them.
Good. You had that. That's the president of Ghana, Mahama John Dramini Mahama. So he said these deportees are now in Ghana from the United States. We know it happened in Rwanda. It happened in Eswatini. It happened in different countries where they took back deportees.
Ghana.
Yes.
We know it happened in Rwanda. It happened in Eswatini.
What we
in different countries where they took back deportees.
Yes. So what we need to look here is, do you think it's a deal?
Sorry, you seem frozen. So may I go on? Right.
Yes,
from
go ahead.
From what Mahama just said, you see, I can agree with him on that. Poor network.
Yes. So
yes. I think it's from your end. Can you hear me?
Is it? Do you think?
Raji, go ahead. I think the network is frozen. Okay. Viewers, sorry for that. Part of the glitches you suffer with technology. So what we're discussing is Ghana agrees to accept U.S. deportees from West Africa, and a 15-man arrival has come. The president just told us now that the arrangement followed a request by Washington as part of President Donald Trump's hardline immigration agenda, which aims to remove millions of people living in America illegally. So most of these 14 of them have been brought back to Ghana. They are mostly Nigerians. Nigerians were in that group, more Nigerians, and one Gambian. So, but Ghana has decided to host them, take them. They have a 19-day window frame to be in Ghana, then probably apply for permanent residency or something. So this is the news coming from West Africa, Ghana, and you are tuned to this beautiful morning with us here, SSM Africa International Update. So let's come to let's talk more about the Nepal situation, Nepal and the situation there, and let's see a clip of it before we continue.
Bye.
अहिलेको अपडेट चाहिँ यस्तो छ, यो घरहरू सबै जलिसकेको छ, जल्दैछ अब अरू पनि। यही हो मन्त्री क्वार्टर भैँसीपाटीको, आगो लागेर सबै सखाप भयो अब।
Yeah, so there you see Nepal, real strike. Yes, Raji, can you see me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Yes, thank you.
Good.
Sorry about the network.
Yes. So the discussion earlier was on the deportee. What do you have to say?
I'm glad that the Ghanaian government is taking deportees who are of West African origin, not some Latino who doesn't even understand the language, even understand English, who is very, very completely alien to Africa. So yes, I agree with the president on that. And as you mentioned, West African nationals don't need a visa to come to Ghana. Yes, I agree with that.
Yes,
because
even
though I'm basically opposed.
Mainly Nigerians.
Even though I'm basically opposed. Okay. Even though I'm seriously opposed to America deporting nationals from America onto countries where those deportees have no affiliation whatsoever. But in this Ghanaian case, I'm glad that Ghana is doing that. Yes.
Okay. Good one. Thank you. Yes. So I was bringing back some other stories. During the week, we also saw what was happening in France. France was almost it was almost a situation of shutting down, government collapse. But fortunately for the president, he was able to keep the prime minister. But we also saw more riots follow up the next day after choosing the prime minister. Riot continued because this time they were demanding impeachment or total resignation of the president Macron. Let's see this clip. Let's see this clip. Okay. So that's France. That's a city in France. Nantes had real wild protests, and they are demanding for the resignation of the president Macron. The world is groaning, Raji. The world, every corner, people are not happy with government. Every corner, people are really sad. So we saw a lot of things. They are also demanding that France gets out of the EU. This is a new thing now in most European countries. Most Europeans want their government to go out of the EU, European Union. We know the European Union has been like a club, an organization that binds them all together for decades now. But most of their citizens don't want them to be part of it anymore. Poland is agitating. France, even Italy, and these countries that are agitating to move were the core founders of that European Union. So it's interesting how things are turning around. What do you say, Raji?
Things are turning around. What do you say, Raji?
You see, the earlier Europe, even as EU or as single countries, decide their own external policies and cut themselves off the theater of US dominance, the better for them. Now, the situation in Ukraine now is better for Europe. Instead of spending money on arms and weapons for Ukraine, and then escalating the tensions between Russia and Ukraine, Europe had better start looking after herself, and develop its own policies in collaboration with Russia. Russia is part of Europe. The earlier they collaborate and they live, they ensure peaceful coexistence, the better for them. In fact, with Russian oil and gas, Europe can survive easily. But now that US have put sanctions on Europeans from buying for buying Russian gas and oil, I don't know what is happening to them. They are now buying expensive oil and gas from US or through China, buying Russian gas and oil through China at a higher expense. France essentially is a glorified third world country. Now, with all the disconnection from the West African countries of its former colonies, France had better sit down and look at itself internally. US is suffering because there are millions of people who are homeless in the US. Meanwhile, US is ready to invest trillions of dollars in wars, in meddlesomeness across the whole world. Europe does not have that capacity. They had better sit down and look at themselves and see what you can. Yes.
Europe does not have that capacity.
Europe does not have that capacity.
One day we'll come to talk more on these new developments with the European Union and most of its citizens agitating for withdrawal of their country from that union. Let's take a break, Raji. Thank you very much. You that was well said. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll have one more story. We're looking into the Kirk, the young man that was shot yesterday in an event in Utah. So thank you, viewers. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Mm-hmm.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Hi there, I'm Mary Keurig, and I am a businesswoman in the United States, but I'm also the Global Content Vice President for the Sub-Saharan Open University in Nigeria. I could not be prouder to work with Dr. Osita Anamika and his team on helping to create not just entrepreneurs and skill-based talent that will get out into the workforce and make a living for themselves, but also young leaders. And to that end, with this integrity-rich university environment that's accredited now, and it's just an amazing opportunity for anyone there of any age to jump on board and learn, we want to let you know about a new offering that we have. We have a governance, Global Governance and Diplomacy course, now provided by a whole team of people that crosses several countries to put together these resources and lots of great information for those of you who might be on the path toward public service and diplomatic service, NGO leadership, that sort of thing. We hope that you will walk through this open door and enjoy.
Schengen story, buy your copy. Schengen story, buy your copy. Schengen story is African journal detailing events, lifestyle, fashion, various kind of stories within the Africans in Europe. So you want to get a copy of what is going on. This is our way of putting out our own side of the story in Europe. In most cases, the media, the European media doesn't talk much about the Africans. And if they do, it's negative. So Schengen Story is putting out what really happens within the African community in Europe. Schengen Story is giving out that story, detailing events, lifestyle, giving out all good, great informations of Africans in Europe. So get your own copy, Schengen Story. And if you have a story to tell, you have something to say, you have an article to put out, feel free to contact us, Schengen Story Team, and let's have your story in this epic movement of mainstream media going on in Europe. So get a copy, Schengen Story magazine. Buy your copy, Schengen Story, Schengen Story, Schengen Story. Get your copy.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
All right, viewers, welcome back. We're back here. Raji is there in Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm here in Milan, Italy. Raji, yesterday midday yesterday, we had the news of a young man shot. The clip, the video clip we got is too graphic. We can't put it out here, but the story is that a conservative activist called Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was killed by a single shot in a targeted attack during an outdoor event yesterday in Utah's Valley University. Utah's Valley University, that's one of the universities there. Now, Kirk is a co-founder of a conservative youth organization called Turning Point, and he's also a very close ally of President Donald Trump. When you see this kind of clip, hear this kind of story, you wonder where the world is now, Raji. People now react to other people's views, other people's opinion, other people's way of reasoning. I mean, it's sad. Tell me, Raji, how did Nigeria hear this?
People now react to a way of reasoning. I mean, it's sad. Tell me, Raji.
Go ahead.
Well, the young man has been.
Go ahead.
The young man has been talking anyhow for a long time, and he has been very, very virulent against even the concept of a Palestinian state. He does not recognize Palestine. He was doing all right until he started attacking AIPAC, and I think that's why he was shot. AIPAC is that is supposed to have put every congressman in his pocket. Every congressman who does not support I think that's where he crossed the line. The moment he started with the same virulence that he was, the same virulent that he was attacking Palestine, it was the same thing that he came against APAC. And I'm sure that's the reason. That's the only reason why he was shot.
Okay, but Raji, it's I mean, no matter what, believe me, no matter what he stands for, we all have different views, we all have different reasonings, different way of thoughts, and no matter who's on what side you align to, conservative, liberal, LGBTQ, and all of these things now. You don't get killed because of your opinion, your viewpoints, your thoughts, and the way you see things. You shouldn't be killed. That's what we're saying. Yeah?
So if for instance the bombing in Doha, for instance, by the Israelis of a peace treaty, of a group of people who are seeking peace, that is okay. That is okay because they have a different point of view. Hundreds of thousands of people have been killed. Let me continue. Let me continue. Yes, hundreds of thousands of people have been killed for their opinions. So this is just one drop in the bucket. And I'm telling you that he was killed because he came against APAC. Anybody throughout history, even from its inception, anybody who has come against APAC has met a terrible end.
Okay, but the latest update we have is that the shooter has not yet been caught, but there are clips of him and how he climbed up, how he came down. Let's see this clip, then we'll come back. So this is a video clip of the shooter, and from the point he took that shot, he climbed up to a building. That's him there. You see running. Yeah, we zoomed the video to where he is. We zoomed, and that's him there trying to come down from that elevation, that building, and he jumped down and began to run. He ran through people, crowd, and traffic, but nobody could assume who he was or what he has. In fact, you can see there's a man walking past before he now came down, and a vehicle also passed by. Things were happening, but this guy was the one that took that shot and killed the young man, Kirk. Now he's left with the widow and 2 children. So what we're saying is the world is really getting very aggressive. Violent. Yes. Raji, talk. Say something.
Raji, talk. Say something.
There are many widows and orphans across Gaza. So Chris Kirk is just one item, and I don't think it should take us into international discussion on it. Rather, we should focus more on the devastation that is happening in Gaza and the West Bank, and Israeli aggression against its neighbors. Israel has bombed Syria, has bombed Yemen, has bombed Sudan, has bombed Iraq, has bombed Iran, has bombed Lebanon, has bombed Doha. So we shouldn't waste too much time on Chris Kirk.
It's not wasting time.
It's not wasting time. It is
giving the updates.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
Yes, that's my opinion.
Okay.
Let's come back to some stories. There we go.
Let's come back to
out
some
in his 10-day holiday. What's it like without the president?
Holiday. What's it like?
Raji?
What was it like with the president at home? What was it like with the president at home? Things are going on. The Nigerians are living their normal life. I hope the president will not be caught up in the demonstrations in France, because he's in France at the moment. And I saw a video of him having dinner or lunch with Macron. I hope he'll not be caught in the crossfire, because Macron is on shaky ground. And Macron supposedly lost the last elections, and I don't know why he's still in power. So by now, I think he should have left. But we are having sit-tight presidents across the country, across the world now. Those who don't want to leave when they should leave, when everything is against them. The Nigerians are living their lives with or without the president. Until yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much.
I think we've done pretty much what we came to do.
We've done pretty much.
What we could also add is the situation in Brazil. Former president, I don't know if you have that story.
Former president, I don't know if you have.
Former president of Brazil. Sorry, I had to. Okay, the former president of Brazil, Bolsonaro, has been convicted of criminal organization and guilty of plotting a military coup. I remember that story in 2022 when he lost the election and he had to do some real crazy things. Do you have any update on Bolsonaro?
I'm sorry, unfortunately not. I don't have any, but I have something on Venezuela.
Okay,
which should be of interest to us.
Yes,
because the Chinese, you see, Venezuela reputedly has the largest amount of oil, even more than Saudi Arabia. But the economic situation in Venezuela is so dire, and it is all caused by American dominance in that area. Now, I understand that the Chinese have started drilling oil in Venezuela, and I don't know the implications of that to the mothersomeness nature of U.S., the domineering nature of U.S. Last week, the U.S. bombed a ship that was supposedly carrying drugs coming from Venezuela. The U.S. have become the global bully, taking decisions without any recourse to the United Nations, with natural decisions, and deciding who and who should be bombed and not bombed, supported by their proxy in the Middle East, the Israeli government.
But there should be check.
There should be check
in world events, even though yes, bombing that ship, they said that was carrying large amounts of drugs. And I mean, we don't need that.
We don't need that.
Sorry, I put the thing. It's echoing here. So if there is those check, well, sometimes it's important. It helps. I don't know.
There should be checks and balances. That's why we had the United Nations. Where if America now has decided to be the only nation in the world that could decide for the whole world what should happen in the world. America is the accuser and the judge in his own case. Yes, and he can bring out any evidence at will. And therefore, we face a bully, and there are people who are coming against it. It's also reminiscent of a collapsing empire. In the last stages of collapse, the emperor starts throwing punches all over the place until his power is waned, until it's faded into antiquity. And that is going to happen to America.
So you think
it's about to collapse?
So you think the American reign is about to end?
It's collapsing. Yes, it's collapsing.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, Raji. I think we're done. We're done for today, and you've done so well bringing your own viewpoints. So, viewers, it's not a very forceful thing. It's consistently doing it that matters. Coming out here like with my coordinators, that matters. And we've done this today, the 12th of September, 2025. Raji, thank you so much. Do you have any words, any last thing you want to say for today?
Yeah, it's Friday, it's the beginning of the weekend. And supposedly, by afternoon Friday, most people are shutting down in preparation for the weekend. I wish all of us a very, very restful weekend. Let there be peace in the world. Let there be love towards the neighbor.
Yes.
Smile at your next person. Give a hug. And let there be a global hug, a global chain of hugs. A hug and a smile from one person to the other, forming a chain across the world. Have a nice weekend.
Strong word. Thank you, Raji.
Thank you, Raji.
Thank you. All right, have a beautiful weekend too. God bless you. Bye-bye.